Just 6 weeks after this new rail line opened, disaster struck. The West Jersey and Atlantic Railroad officially opened on June 16, 1880. It was part of the West Jersey and Seashore Railroad, which was created to be an excursion line that took visitors from Philadelphia all the way to Atlantic City. But little did they know that 6 weeks after opening it, disaster would strike. At 6:30 p.m. on August 11, 1880, a train returning from Atlantic City to Philadelphia crashed near Mays Landing. The train was carrying over 1,000 passengers and had 26 cars split in between two sections. The first section left at 6 p.m. and the second section left just 5 minutes after. At Mays Landing, the first section was told to pull over to a sidetrack because another train was coming. Pulling over to a sidetrack meant that the other train could pass by safely. Most of the cars were cleared on the main line except for two. The last two train cars were still on the main track when the second section arrived. The second section slammed into the first section, nearly splitting the last train car in half. The impact burst the locomotive, releasing scalding steam and boiling water, killing many passengers who survived the initial crash. Local residents rushed in, turning nearby buildings into hospitals to help the injured, and we know that 30 people died from the crash and many more were injured. The engineer of the second section, Edward Aiken, claimed that the automatic brakes were only installed the day of, and that he had never used them before. He claimed he tried to stop 1.5 miles before the crash, but the brakes had failed. Now, engineers on trains had access to something called a sandbox, and this sand would help improve traction. The sand would be sprinkled onto the steel rails in front of the driving wheels to help increase traction and prevent slip in wet or icy conditions. It also helps sliding during braking, which reduces the stopping distance. The engineer insisted that the sandbox was open before the crash, and his firemen even backed him up on this. However, a passenger claimed he didn't see any sand on the tracks and that the collision could have been prevented. A jury later ruled that the collision was caused by 3 things. 1, poor timing between the trains. 2, heavy rain that was falling at the time, making the braking more ineffective. And 3, the engineer's inability to handle the new braking system. The Mays Landing train crash became a tragic part of the town's history, reminding everyone of the dangers of early rail travel.